Okay, guys, here we go with our second match this week in Friday Night 9 Ball. And this match, let's have another quick look at the bracket before we go any further. We'll see that this match is a third round match, and it's between Larry from the I'll say that again. Larry from the United States and Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes won his last match against DJ Redo. It was given him one rack and he won the match 7-1. Larry is the winner of a match between him and Chad Mercer, who was getting a full handicap of 4 racks. Chad unfortunately didn't win a rack and Larry won 7-4. So the two of these players are matched up. Snake Eyes is getting 1 rack. Remember, it's a race to 7. And this is still on the winner's side. The loser's side is taking shape over that side. And let's join the match. So, I think Snake Eyes is from the UK. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, he's from England. And from what I can remember, he's a fairly capable player. So, he should give Larry a match. But I think the problem here as well is Snake Eyes certainly doesn't get to play a lot online. I'm assuming he maybe plays a bit offline, but probably, whether the guy's working or whatever, maybe at college or university, he certainly doesn't get a lot of online time. But from what I've seen of him in the past, he's a reasonably good player. But you still need to get that practice in if you're going to keep your eye in at this game. So Larry just tidying up the first rack here. It looks as if he's going to wipe off that handicap score. That ties the match up at 1 rack all. We're on a race to 7. And Larry to break. And the old dry break comes back to haunt us again. Now, there might be an angle off that jaw there, off that pocket. If he cuts this one in, yeah. And it just drops, but unfortunately the cue balls collided with the 5. He's got to be careful here because he's going to be cutting this 2 towards the corner pocket. Well, he's played the cut. And that, of course, needs a lot of luck to get on the 3. And he plays the little cut at safety. I don't know whether Larry will fancy trying to kick that in. Yeah, it looks like it. Just misjudged it slightly. Now again, if Snake Eyes is going to try and pot this into the bottom corner here, he's going to have to do something with the cue ball. Of course, that makes the shot a bit more difficult. I had to try and dig down to kill the cue ball to hold for the 4. He's given Larry a golden opportunity here. It looks again the cue ball's going to be running down between the the 7 and the 9 here. And back up the table. Well, that's actually probably worked out not too bad. I think Larry can. Oh yeah, he can squeeze that 4 past the 6. And probably better just leaving the cue ball run through a wee bit there. Well, he tried to cheat the pocket, but it's pretty difficult to do that in these pockets with the deeper cut on the slate bed, because the pocket is deeper than what it used to be in Virtual Pool 3. And again, that's now swung the balance in favour of Snake Eyes. Can he run these 4 balls? Not a lot to do with the cue ball. He just needs to make sure he gets it out into the middle of the table for this 7. Well, he's played that a bit cautiously, and if he tries to stun this 7 in into the cue ball around the angles, he's going to hit that 9. Well, he's chipped to 9, got it thin, and I think he's actually pretty nigh perfect on the 8. That was a bit of luck, and the 9's hanging over the pocket here, so concentration needed here. And he rolls the 8 in, and just a simple drop in the 9 to regain his lead. And Snake Eyes leads by 2 racks to 1. And the 3 ball rushes into the top right hand corner. The 6 ball gets kicked in by the 8. And there's the problem, the 7 is now covered by the 8 ball, so something's going to have to be manufactured. I think that 7 will pot, provided the cue ball was lying in the right hand rail. There's plenty of room past the 8, but that's asking a lot. And Snake Eyes get far too much on the cue ball there. He's out of position. I think he's maybe trying to line up this combo on the 5 into the corner, and that's a lot to ask. You don't want to be having to take risky shots against somebody of the calibre of Larry. And Snake Eyes is 30 seconds runs out. He's on his extension. He needs to get ready to play his shot. Well, he went for it and almost got it, and he's actually collided with the 8, and now makes it a bit easier for that 7 ball. And that was a bad shot. Larry, well, it looks as if he under hit it. He's got an easy enough bank, which he gets, and just needs to drop the 5 in. Now there is a problem here, because Larry could collide with that 8, and then you're just riding your luck as to what's going to happen. So he played the right shot there. He got it onto the rail rather than leaving it on the bottom rail, and now he can pot the 7 and totally avoid the 8 ball altogether, but he's going to have to spin it. And he gets the cue ball out, and now he's going to cut the 8 in and bring the cue ball back across for the 9 into the same pocket, I would think. And this match, I think, could go all the way, but we've yet to really see Snake Eyes get in and pot a few balls to see that he can manoeuvre this cue ball in a reasonable fashion. So Larry ties the match up at 2 racks all, and balls going in all over the place. But no real shot in the 2. Now he could look for safety here, cut that 2 to the side rail and down towards the 9 and get the cue ball back up behind the 4, but knowing Larry's going to probably go for the cut here. And he gets it, and he's played that well. Nicely on the 4, a little bit straight though. So now he might try and just stop the cue ball and take the 5 into this bottom right, just past the 8 ball. Just leave the cue ball more or less where the 4 is, or bring it back like an inch. Let's see what he does. He might have another idea. Well, that's exactly what he's played. He's stopped it, and he's got a reasonable angle on the 5, but the cue ball though is going to be coming up close to this corner pocket, so it's all about pace, and he couldn't avoid the collision on the 8. And this is giving Snake Eyes a good chance. Same thing here, pots the 5 down the rail, cue ball off the side rail, over to the left rail and back across. Well, he's made a right mishmash of that. So it's back in Larry's hands, and again this is about pace. He chose to take it in the bottom, well, top corner as we look. He's got a nice angle in the 6. Get that cue ball back up for the 8. And shouldn't be a problem here. Just run the cue ball off the side rail and back out. It doesn't need to really play it with any English if he doesn't want to. It would only complicate matters a bit more. The cue ball's going to be in a good position to cut this 9 in. Well, I don't know what happened there. Did we get a bit of lag? Because we don't know what shot happened. Everything just jumped. Well, that's a shot that's gone into the midst of the internet and we never saw it. That was weird. But now, somehow or other, Larry's back at the table, and he's now got an easy 9 to go back into the lead. Well, that was a weird situation there. Larry all lined up for the shot. He must have played it with English, because that is probably the only way he could have missed it 8. And I haven't seen that happen in any of the streamed matches that I've recorded so far, so with a little glitch there. But anyway, back to the match. Larry cuts the 1 ball in. And hopefully with that incident we're not totally out of sync and we're looking at the wrong player at the table. Sometimes if you go out of sync in the game, you can look at the scores and you think you see one player playing, but it's actually the other. Anyway, this is a bit of a tight squeeze. And only option here's the combo in the 6. Needs to just play this nice and soft, or he can draw back, and the 4 ball's held well there because he played it perfect, nice and straight, so that meant the 4 ball could only go forward. And now he needs to leave an angle on this 8. He doesn't want the cue ball on the side rail. He's got an angle, slight, as though, you know, it is slight, so he's going to have to stun this in at a reasonable pace. And you see what happens. That's what happens in Virtual Pool 4. He needed more angle. He had an angle, but he had to hit it hard, and these pockets just won't take the ball if you're offline slightly. So now we've got a bit of cat and mouse going on here. I think this could be an important rack in this match. If Larry wins it, the obvious thing is he's going to be 2 racks in front, but Snake Eyes, well, I think he's just sold out there. And this looks fairly straightforward. Just run the 8 in, cue ball up the table and down for the 9. Well, one way or another, Larry's got himself into a 4 racks to 2 lead. I didn't hear anything drop. Did something go? No. Another dry break. And results are coming in at the bottom of the screen there. Mr. Bill has beaten the winner of the match between Ron and Quack. That's the French gentleman. He goes to the 1-loss side now. And Mr. Bill continues on. Meanwhile, Snake Eyes has chosen to play the push out. And Larry decided, well, let's see what you can do with that. He pushed the shot back to Snake Eyes. And he pulls out a cracker on the 1 ball. But how's his luck on the 2? Let's have a look down the line. Well, there's no potting angle there. So he's going to try and have to get a decent enough safety. And he's hit that a wee bit too hard. I think Larry can see enough of that too. Can actually pot it, but the cue ball will be going very close to that middle pocket if he tries to pot that here in the bottom left. He's going to have to dig right down in the cue ball. Oh, it was a tough shot. How's his luck? Well, these balls are cuttable, and no doubt Snake Eyes will be going for it. The cue ball's going to be travelling again. Well, he's actually cut that up the table, but I think he's got away with it now. Larry's full ball snooker on the 2, and hopefully he can kick this and run the cue ball in behind the 9. Well, he got it too full. Well, what does Snake Eyes do here? Is he going to go for the cut? Well, that's a bad mistake there. Got it far too thin. Again, Larry's problem is not potting the 2, it's forcing the cue ball around to get back up and somehow have a shot on this 3. Needs to run, it needs to keep going. That looks not bad. I think he can drop this in. Is he going to draw to the side rail and try and get the cue ball out, or try and just play a cute 1 and draw to hold for the 4 on the left side? Well, that's what he's tried, and that's how he missed the 3. So there's a fair bit of inconsistency in this match. But this time, Snake Eyes is successful with the 3 and has a nice angle in the 4 to get the cue ball across and out for the 5. Is he going to draw it down? Thinks he's going to draw it, yeah. And he's finished dead straight on the 5. And this is going to need a bit of luck here. He might draw into this 7. There you go. And that's trying to force an angle on the cue ball there to get it out, which he did. But again, playing it with that right English sends the cue ball offline before it hits the 5, and that caused him to rattle the 5 in the pocket. And again, Larry needs to leave an angle. He needs to stop the cue ball where the 6 is, but he's now left it dead straight again, so this rack isn't over yet. And Larry really needs to, I don't know what he's going to do here. He's going to try and draw two to get 8 into the middle, yeah. Oh, and that 8 just went in off the jaw. But anyway, it doesn't matter. What matters is the score, and Larry's now run out into a 5 racks to 2 lead. And really, we still haven't seen anything of Snake Eyes. There's been a lot of messing about, and I don't think he's had a chance to run any balls at all. It's just been messy, this match. Larry banks the 1, a nice bank, perfectly on the 2. But now he's going to have to do something with the cue ball. Well, he's chosen to leave it at distance, and again, the problem here is the collision with the 9. He might actually kill 2 birds with the 1 stone here. He could combo that 6 into the right hand corner. Because remember, that's his next ball. Well, he's played that well. He knew he was going to hit the 9. Somehow he's managed to get the cue ball nicely on that 6. And what's he going to do? Try and leave the combo in the 7 and the 9? Let's see. We'll see what the outcome is. And that's just under hit a tad. Again, he's going into a blind pocket. But he gets it. And he's, again, too much pace in the cue ball there. That cue ball's run about 3 feet too far and just left another awkward 9. Should never have been playing this 9 ball from there. But he gets it again. And he's now on the hill, leading by 6 racks to 2. And also, ball goes in on the break. Unlucky though, he's got no shot on the 1. I'm just going to kick this off the bottom rail. And that's worked out nice. Now does Snake Eyes thin this 1 towards the 8? No, he's went for some weird bank, which was never on. Or was he just trying to play the snooker behind the 8 ball? We'll never know. But that looked a lot messier than what it was intended to be. Larry plays a nice jump. The cue balls run away over to the left rail, so again a really tough shot on this too. Again, nothing to worry about the cue ball. Yeah, that was always tough. Let's have a quick look. Well, Larry's got a second prize, I think. Can he see enough of that to pot it? No. And that was a bad choice of shot there. I think somehow Snake Eyes thought he could get enough on that 2 ball to actually make the potting angle, and I don't think it was ever on. Well, I think it's Looking very like a combo in the 8 ball with a 7 to win this match for one of these two players. Well, for Larry to win the match and for Snake Eyes to save the match, but that might not happen. And again, Larry's just overhit that slightly because he's now not looking down towards the 8. He's looking at the rail, so he's got to get this lined up. Well, he got the shot, but look where the cue ball's finished. And I think he might be digging out the jump stick here. Yeah. And that's what happens at the close distance. When you're at a close range, jumping across the width of the table, it's very likely the cue ball's going to bounce off and up onto the floor. And that gave Snake Eyes a gift there. Snake Eyes goes to 3 racks. Larry's still in 6. Well, this is not a difficult cut in the 2 because he doesn't need to do anything with the cue balls. He just needs to hit it plain ball. The worst thing that's going to happen is he's going to leave a combo on this 3 onto the 8 in the middle. And again, he's got away with it because he played it enough pace to come down here behind the 3, but he got the kiss off that 5 and he's actually sitting not too bad. But I think he's... Yeah, I thought he was going to collide with that 8, but he managed to stun it past it. And I think it'll definitely be a combo from the 5 to the 9 here. You can actually just stun across. Well, he got the double kiss there off the 8 and the 6. And that's gifted Snake Eyes the opportunity. Ball in hand, right behind the 5. And just needs to shoot the 5 into the pocket there. And he should take the 9 with it. Well, that's fairly quickly. Snake Eyes has won 2 racks. He gets a 2 ball in the break in the bottom left. And let's look at what he's got from this end. Well, he's got no shot on the 1. And somehow he's managed to get a reasonable enough safety out of that. And is Larry going for the bank into this bottom right? Or is he going to try and take it in that top right hand corner? No, he's thought of playing a safety. And I don't think he's hidden it. That was quite a good jump shot there by Snake Eyes. Again, no control really over the cue ball when you're playing jump shots like that. And that's gone wrong. He got the double hit on the 3 there and sent it down towards that corner. And a nice angle for Larry to pot the 3 and just get the cue ball central in the table for that 4. And I think he's got a slight angle. but he's got to watch this traffic here doesn't block him, so he just played the sensible shot. Just drew back 2 or 3 inches because he had the shot on the 5. So this is Larry's match winning opportunity. Just the 3 balls remaining, and just needs to draw back off this 7, not too hard. And once again he's overdone it. And that shot there, Larry just had his Q-tip too far down the cue ball. When you're trying to play sort of shorter draw shots, you need to just hit the cue ball just slightly below the equator and use the pace to get the draw in the cue ball. It's hard to judge that shot, but nevertheless he successfully got the 7 and should be able to just cut this 9 in. He might even bank it, but it looks like he's going for the cut. There we go. So Larry wins the match by 7 racks to 4, and Snake Eyes will continue the remainder of his tournament in the one loss side. Let's have a quick look at the bracket. And that result's yet to update on the bracket. Let's just do a bit of a refresh, and you'll see that Mr. Bill is playing Larry to see who gets the hot seat in the final. And either way they're going to have to wait, because there's still a fair few matches to complete on this one loss side. But anyway, Larry won the match, and he continues on the winner's side. And we'll see you again sometime.